Now putting this one in should be interesting. I just outlined it, but it's got a lot of different depth to it. So it'll definitely challenge all of the different concepts that we've just been playing with and see if I can really get it in there okay. The reason, the logic for putting that in there together is usually when I go shoot, this is my primary firearm. It's easy with this paddle holster to just throw it on your hip, hooked into your belt and go. So, and it's something I always use this holster, even if I'm shooting another gun, it's usually sitting on my hip. And so it just makes sense to have the whole thing there all together. And that's an idea I got from another YouTube video from a gentleman who was setting up his case. All right, I finished my first sweep. This one's a little different because we're trying to go deep. And so it's definitely not enough. Plus it's a pretty thick double stack weapon. Now I was able to go pretty quickly through here because I'm starting to get more confident. As you can see, the pick and pull stuff is pulling away, and that's okay because I think it's part of the gig. And as we get deeper and if it's in there perfect, we're going to hopefully have that plastic seal everything up. All right, so we got in there pretty good. It sticks up probably a little more than the others, but because of the holster being left on there, clips up pretty good. I actually went all the way down to the bottom on the two sides and took it out to try to make it a little bit cleaner. I'll clean that up just a little bit more so the plastic seal doesn't have so much plastic coat doesn't have so much foam to adhere to in there. I'd prefer to just use a couple of cans, not a case. And we'll see how that turns out. But slipping this in here and having that go down there like that, and that looks real good. While I was doing it, I couldn't help, I don't know if technique helps, but for some people, and I apologize I can't film while I'm cutting, but I was kind of grabbing large sections and just with one hand and kind of peeling back as I went. Once you get down there, you don't have to worry quite as much about cutting into the sides because you're never going to see it. And it just reminded me of watching somebody give me a haircut, supercuts or whatever. It's kind of that motion of going in there and slowly picking up, and you want to not break this stuff apart if you want to keep it all solid. So you want to be careful, but at the same time, you're doing a lot of just cutting, and that's how you get a little bit more speed. Okay, so we've got all these in. We've got the magazines in, the holster in of the primary firearm. Now it's time to lay the rifle down in. Now it is so thick that I'm thinking, you know, these that we're gonna have to just pull out our plugs in order to make the depth of that rifle kind of work out. So I'm not going to be too worried about that. I know it gets skinnier down here, but I definitely don't want to be playing with this for ages. I've definitely taken a little more time than I thought because I'm so particular about the depth that I wanted to go. So those took a while to cut in, but I think the reward is how clean they look. They don't sink down into their hole prematurely. So I'm happy with that. We'll see what happens with the rifle pulling out whole pegs. All right, we've got our outline. It's time to start pulling. Sharpie started to get a little worn out towards the end there, so make sure you've got a spare. Now pulling this stuff out all the way down, you can hear it kind of pulling away. It sure is deep. Makes me nervous after taking all that time and caution over here. And I'm still not sure as I pull this away, I'm not sure I want to go all the way down because the stock is so much narrower than say the optic area or the foregrip. Okay, I wussed out a little bit. I took it down to the ground with the main foregrip, and then my little extension here, I went just partial as well as the iron sight, forward iron sight, and then the barrel. We'll see how it fits once I get this stuff out. I just finished taking it out. You can see where I went all the way down to the foam layer that they recommend you use for everything. I kept the other layers kind of cut shorter because I've gotten used to doing it. It takes a little more time, And I like the fit though. So take this sucker and pop it down in there. It seems to go in. I got it in there to the point where it doesn't seem to pull anywhere. It's nice and tight. There's all the foam we pulled out. Kind of playing here. And we'll shut the lid. Let's see if it closes okay. And it looks like we're beautiful. So I am pleased as peaches about this. Oh yeah, all loaded up. Does weigh a little bit, but there we have it. So to give you a quick example of this stuff, I kind of pulled it away from the sides a little bit to let me know how far I want to go. And when you're just going all the way out, here's how fast it is. Just kind of want to not break apart everything, but you're kind of feeling those edges. And look at that, it goes pretty easy. So the pick and pull concept, it works really well if you do want to go just all the way down, right down to the bottom, and just really just boom, pull it out. And then you can kind of just slide your stuff in there. Now these are real tight because of the thickness of the magazine, so I want to wiggle that in and make it fit just right. But that was without much prep, no cutting, just to give you an example of how fast this would be without doing all my silly stuff with the scissors. But no regrets for me, because I enjoy doing this kind of thing, and it's soothing, and every time I open this and look at it or pack it up to go on a shooting trip, I'm gonna just be pleased as peaches, and hopefully the plastic coat will make it even better.